Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Spyro 3. Last time we cleaned out Seashell Shore, and this time we're gonna hop in the balloon! Stay here? Midday Gardens? I'll stay... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. We're gonna go on to Midday Gardens, but first we've got ourselves a cutscene and a boss battle. Bianca strikes back.
Listen carefully, you stupid girl. I'm only going to ask you one more time. Why haven't you disposed of that infernal dragon?
I've tried to scare him off, Your Highness. But he's just not afraid of anything.
Not afraid? Not afraid? Why have I been training you all these years? Use some magic! Here's a spell book. Whip up a monster and eliminate him.
Kill him?
I don't care what you do, you useless brat, as long as you get rid of him.
Okay, let's see what we got here. This ought to do it. You, come here.
Oh my god, that's horrifying. That's even more horrifying! Oh, don't tell me I have to fight that thing. Now, you probably weren't paying attention, but in that cutscene you could actually see Sergeant Bird in the background. Also, Nidoqueen is a bitch. So this is the boss arena.
When I heard the sorceress was planning to ambush you, I got here as fast as I could. No worries, though. This wussy green toad will be no match for the two of us.
I don't know, he looks pretty tough. So yeah, the cool thing about boss battles in this game is that your partners will always be there to help you in some way or another. Like, they'll usually do like these indirect supporting roles, right? So the goal of this fight is to knock Buzz in the pit, but Sheila headbutts him, and that's actually what's doing damage to him. So she headbutts him into a pit, and he rolls around like a buzzsaw. And then you repeat the whole process again, rinse and repeat. This just comes in like 3 pretty simple stages. You kind of want to stay to the outside here so that you have to knock him back fewer times when you charge around. Now, whoa, boy, that was dumb. That was really dumb. Now, there's actually a cheap way to do this boss fight that the speedrunners use. I don't exactly know how to do it. Why are you not getting knocked back? Holy crap. But basically, if you stand, like, right at the edge and, like, rotate the camera in a certain direction, Buzz won't actually, like, chase you during his buzzsaw thing. I don't exactly know what it is or how it works, so I'm not even really going to try to explain it anymore. But this is the most annoying phase, because you can't do anything to him while his little wall of fire is up. But fortunately, it's 2 hits per phase, and we're done with that nonsense. The third phase is actually a little bit easier, even though he's supposed to be more threatening. But basically what he'll do now is he'll shoot fire. He'll blow fire at us. But this is really easy to dodge, and you can actually push him back before he finishes his three little things. So Buzz is a really easy boss, but trust me, they won't stay like this. Oh god, almost ran into the lava again. Living on the edge, buddy, buckaroo. Alrighty, 1 more hit should do it. Yeah, like the stage 2 boss in this game is freaking brutal. You would be shocked and horrified at how hard the stage 2 boss, or like the second boss of the game is. I call him the stage 2 boss. Jeez. Grayson. That's a weird name. Grayson. I've just offended all of the Graysons out there, but it's a very hipsterish sounding name. So anyway, that's it. We're done with Midday Gardens, or not Midday Gardens. That's where we're going. But we're done with Sunrise Spring, except we aren't really, because we've got to go back there. We got to finish off Molten Crater, and we still need, we need to do the Sparks World there, too. But first, a little cutscene with Bianca. So many cutscenes, man.
Okay, Dragon. You've managed to survive longer than I expected. But you haven't the slightest idea what sort of dangers lie ahead of you. I suggest you grab your cat friend and whatever eggs you found and hightail it back home while you still can. I'm telling you this for your own good, you know.
Okay, whatever you say there, crazy lady. So, yeah, you can actually check the atlas here, and you'll see Sunrise Spring isn't highlighted yet because we're still missing all that stuff from Molten Crater. Sparks Worlds get their own category, but I'm going to do them as they become available, which is basically after you beat the boss of the world that you just completed. So once you beat Buzz, you can go back to Sunrise Spring and do the Sparks World there. And you do want to do these as they show up because Sparks gets additional powers as he completes Sparks Worlds, which is very nice. So like after you beat the first one, he'll get the ability to pick up gems from further distances, which is kind of nice, but the other ones are a lot more useful, and I'll talk more about those later. But I'm not actually going to go back there and do that until we unlock Sergeant Bird and can use him in Molten Crater, so we can finish off Molten Crater and the Sparks World in one fell swoop. So yeah, you got this weird little ice cave here. That's where Icy Peak is. Feisty Peak. This is Mingus, another jazz musician reference. I don't think the real Charles Mingus had buck teeth like that, but you know, whatever. Take it as it comes. Oh, and make sure you don't forget these gems back here in the room where you started. Those weren't the gems that I actually missed. The gems that I actually missed were out like in the plainest of day. There are these gems right here. I can't believe I missed these gems. That's what I missed. It took me 10 minutes to find that. I'm not even kidding you. Anyway, you got some more water here. You got lots of water crap in this world. Except, fortunately, not really in any of the main worlds. The main worlds in here are significantly cooler. Well, I mean, 2 of them are a lot cooler, but 2 of them are also kind of shitty. If only because you have to use Sergeant Bird a lot in one of them. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Icy Peak is okay, I guess. That's nothing really to write home about, if you ask me. Enchanted Towers is really the only world in this hub that sucks hard, and that's the first one. It's right here. And you have to do this really, really weird, like, there's a target here, and you need to hit it with a rock.
Hey, Spyro, Zoe told me that if we hit that doodad up there, the portal will open. Why don't you try spitting this rock at it?
Okie dokie. Now, in this world, you actually get the Super Flame power-up, and you can use the Super Flame power-up to do the exact same thing and just skip talking to Hunter entirely. But this is how they wanted you to do it, so, what the heck. And you don't even have to go into it for it to stay open. Now, this thief is just incredibly obnoxious. He is not a fun thief to chase. He'll stay on the path, but he's really fast, and he turns around a lot, so... Anyway, I guess I could find something to talk about. I might as well talk about what I was talking about in the failed recording session, which was I got the latest Foo Fighters album, which is called Sonic Highways, because they recorded it in a whole bunch of the famous recording cities in America. And they kind of like went to great lengths to change up their sound in this album, which I respect a lot, but I don't think it always works. Well, okay, let me back up, because I think the album is actually really good, and I'd recommend it to fans of the band and just fans of music in general, because it's really good. Would you freaking get caught already? My favorite track on the song is probably a really unconventional one that a lot of people aren't talking about, but it's the 7th track, Subterranean, which is the most harmonically interesting piece of music that the Foo Fighters have ever written before. And it's very atmospheric and just very weird and interesting. So I like that one a lot. And then, of course, all of the hits from the album are cool, too. Those are all good. The one song that wasn't really doing it for me was the final one, which is called I Am a River. And it's a really long song. It's 7 minutes long. And I think that, you know, what they do is that they layer up all of these different things at the end over, like, a simple repeated chorus, where Dave is just, like, yelling, I am a river, over and over again, except he's doing it in rhythm and with pitch, so just freaking ignore me talking about trying to do his impression or whatever. This is where you learn that you can climb ladders, by the way. But the problem with the song is that I think that it's just a little bit too long and a little bit too self-congratulatory, in the sense that, like, it doesn't really take a lot of effort to layer, like, music like that, or, like, to keep adding little things while keeping everything else constant. And it does give it a really big, grand, like, finale kind of vibe, but it just lasts a little too long. It doesn't develop quickly enough. And there are, I think, other bands that have done similar things better. Now, I know if you like are a big Foo Fighters fan, or you listen to a lot of music that's like the Foo Fighters, you probably wouldn't listen to a lot of Between the Buried and Me, who are a progressive death metal band. But they have an album called Colors, which is absolutely amazing. I guess we'll do the Super Flame thing in a minute here. But that song, I think, well, let me back up. The album Colors, like the idea of it is like 70 minutes and of continuous tracks. But the thing is, like they like use these recurring themes throughout the album. So it's really interesting, and it's incredibly well written. It's incredibly musically complicated. I love it. I just absolutely love it. The last track on that album is called White Walls, which has a similar kind of build-up. I don't care, Zoe, shut up. It has a similar build-up to what they do at the end of I Am a River, except it feels more like they earned it, in the sense that the music is a lot more cohesive. Or, well, not cohesive. That's not the right word. What I mean is that, like, the conclusion is just more emphatic, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You'd have to listen to it. And also, I think the layering is better because it just comes faster and there's more variation. Like, the drums get in and they start doing different stuff, and then, like, instead of repeating the same drum riff over and over again and adding more things, they'll, like, change the drum beat, for example, and so, I don't know. Also, I wanted to point out the fact that there was a dragon named Modesty. Modesty is not a fucking name, it's like a quality. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out is when you hit things with the Super Flame power-up, you can rocket bunnies upward into the sky, and it's freaking hilarious. I love it. Animal cruelty is at its freaking finest. So Midday Gardens actually ends up being the best place to grind for 1-ups in the entire game, because there are so many freaking bunnies here. Like, it's totally ridiculous. Now, am I missing gems again? I think I am. Oh, I know exactly what I'm missing. I'm missing, yeah, because there's a gem case that you need the Super Flame to open. And I was too much of a dumbie to go and open that up. So, I'm trying to think of what to do in this episode, because I don't want to start Sergeant Bird's base. Because if I want to finish Sergeant... Where am I going? It's over here. I don't think I want to start Sergeant Bird's base, because if I do, it's gonna take for... This video is gonna be really long, unless I split it up over 2 videos, but I don't want to do that either, because the less time I spend there, the better. So I think I might just go and do the Speedway, which is what I did the last time I tried to record this, but hopefully I won't fail nearly as much this time. Yeah, the Speedways are definitely a bit more involved. You just have a lot more to do here than in other Spyros. Like, the time attack itself is nothing. It's just the freaking race is annoying, and if you don't get all of the boosts, which I wasn't because I wasn't controlling Spyro for shit the last time I was here, you gotta start it all over. So we're gonna do the time attack. And if you do it in order, there's pretty much no way you can lose unless you, like, miss everything. So you fly through a bunch of rings, which is always the most boring of Speedway challenges. And there are much faster and better ways to do this Speedway, like running backwards along this track to get the tractors as they come towards you. That's a nice way to do it, but if you do it like this, it lines up so that the last tractor is the start of the first cow. These freaking French cows wearing berets or whatever. Who do they think they are? Artistes? Oh my god. That's like the worst pun ever. And then that lines up just in time for you to start taking down these biplanes, which you can charge with the freaking, like, spinny thing, which is cool. I don't know, I actually kind of like the Speedway. For such a lame theme, it's actually pretty fun and well designed. Like, this is a nice little city, you know? It almost looks like it could be a real place in, like, freaking Vermont or something, I don't know. With the covered bridge and all of the autumn colors. So yeah, I mean, like, the time's pretty tight, but I mean, it's no big deal. 3 seconds left over is a lot in the grand scheme of things. So that was easy. Yeah, complete. 16 out of 32. 32 out of 32. Weird little animations. Oh man, my throat is all dry all of a sudden. I don't know. It's so amazing that everybody in the farmyard clubbed together to buy you this as a reward. I'm going to, like, skip over Sparks' actually speaking the words because it's just annoying buzzing. I don't know what it is. My throat is feeling really dry today. I think it's probably because it's snowing outside. Well, the flying pigs are raring to go. Oh, great. Not these assholes. This race is a lot harder than the butterflies. Let me tell you that, for starters. Even when you know what you're doing, it's a lot harder than the butterflies. Because now you got, like, freaking ballistic missiles you can use. You got a much more complicated path through the blue shit. The blue shit, as I call them. Everything is shit. Blue shit, red shit, green shit. Which is funny because, I totally didn't even mean to do this, but the speedrunners in a later boss fight distinguish between red shit and green shit. And red shit is the good shit that you want, and the green shit is the bad shit. And this is like something that I will maybe explain way later in another video, because this isn't until we get to the third boss, which is a long way away. So, well, we're looking like we're going to get the race on the first try, barring horrible catastrophe. I mean, like, just everything went wrong. I freaking was, like, standing on the bridge because I flew too low. I was missing the blue shit left and right. I freaking missed one of the rings one time, which instantly boots you out of the race. Okay. See, look, we're already about to take first place again. And it's only lap 2. This is the way that I should have done it the first time. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to, like, I almost wish that I had the footage, because it was just so... everything that I was talking about, and it was just not good, because half the time I was interrupting myself to talk about how bad the race was going. Which is what I always find myself doing when I Let's Play. I'm, like, talking about a topic, then something happens in the game, and I'm like, man, I fucking can't believe I did that. And then I mess up in the game some more, and I get sidetracked from what I was talking about, and then I'm like, yeah, well, anyway, back to what I was talking about, and then something else happens in the game, and I'm like, ooh, shiny. So yeah, we're in first. There's basically no way we can lose this now, barring, like, total, complete, like, retardation on my part. I don't really like to use that word too much, like the R word, I guess you could call it. I don't want to sound like too overly politically correct either, because I think that getting offended at too many things isn't the way to go either. But it's like, I mean, it's the sort of word that if somebody wants to use it, I'd be kind of like maybe a little grossed out internally. Not even grossed out is the right word. I mean, just like a little, not even disappointed, just like, eh. But it's not the word that I would go out of the way to use myself unless it was something really, really ridiculous. So, but then I am just using it right then, so, jeez. Of course, I could be using it to refer to retardation as in, like, actual slowing down. Like, I remember, like, being in 7th grade learning music in, like, middle school orchestra, and there's, like, one thing called a retardando, or, like, a retard, as it's often called, and it means slow down in the music. So, is, like, I guess retardando is the fancy way, and retard is just, like, the abbreviation.
You're not gonna believe this, but there are sheep saucers and space cows all over this place. We gotta stop them before they abduct anybody.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem.
I'm gonna strap on my jetpack and blast some space cows.
Alright. Should Hunter go? What's a space cow? Nah, man, go for it.
Look out, cows! Here I come!
Alright, so these are the same cows from Spyro 2. The same, like, sheep saucers and cows. And this is like the freaking coffee break level. It's like, it's pretty much impossible to lose this. All you gotta do is hold the circle button. Hunter fires by himself. And then his shots even, it feels like they home in a little bit on the targets. It's like, I don't know, it's weird to explain. You gotta save all these cute little, like, country farmer guys with big heads and straw hats. And no eyes until their textures load in. Oh, PlayStation 1, you're so charming. Now one should come over there. Another one comes from over there. Oh, geez, they're everywhere. I was almost worried I was gonna fail that. Like, how sad would that be if I'm like, oh, this is like the coffee break level. It's like the easiest thing ever. And I mess it up. I'd just be sad. I'd just be really, really sad. It does get a little awkward, though, when the cursor is, like, directly in front of Hunter. He's, like, flying at weird angles, but I mean, like, this is nothing. Yeah, what was I... Oh, yeah, I was talking about, like, retards. And how everybody in, like, in middle school was like, hee hee hee, retard. And then it just, like, it was never funny in the first place, but it was just something that immature idiots pointed out. And I don't like to think of myself as being an immature idiot, at least not in that sense. I was doing other stupid, immature shit at that time, so...
We got the last one just before he abducted this egg.
Alright, that's good. Who are we rescuing now? Roberto, who's a character from Monster, which is a really good anime. You should watch it. Oh man, I just thought of something to say. I wasn't talking about anything. Aww, do we have to go? I was just kicking back while you were doing all that flying. Yeah, Spark says funny shit sometimes. I thought of one more thing to say before I end the episode, and it wouldn't be right to like, not say it here, if that makes any sense. But when I was at Youmacon, and I haven't really talked about this a lot, but it was an anime convention I went to over Halloween and, like, the first couple of days of November. So I'm just going to perch here and tell you a little story about the convention that I went to. Oh, well, I guess I lost my perch. My perch. Well, anyway, I was at a panel, and they have, like, a bunch of, like, voice actor guys. I guess I'll charge around the level. They had a bunch of voice actors, and they had, like, Little Karibo and Team 4-Star. But the only, like, one of these big panels that I went to was Patrick Seitz's panel. And they got him on the show because he's dubbing Ira Gamagori in the English dub of Kill la Kill. But what I didn't know about him was that he also directed and voice acted in Monster, which I absolutely loved. I didn't know that because I watched the subtitled Japanese version, like a good anime fan would. But he said at the panel that Monster was his favorite anime ever, and then he, like, asked anybody who was in the room who had seen it, and I was, like, one of the only people there that had. There was, like, me and maybe 3 or 4 others, and that was it. So that was crazy. But he was a super cool dude. Panel was super fun. Maybe I'll talk more about Youmacon in other episodes. But in the meantime, thanks for sitting through that little endy bit here on Spyro 3. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.